Greetings and salutations. So today is another supercut from episodes 41 to episodes 50. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, let's get right into it and let's present this compilation.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
I'm sad to say that another actor who has appeared in Star Trek has passed away. In this case, actor Kenneth Welsh. Welsh was 80 years old and passed away on Thursday, May 5th. He leaves behind a distinguished career on stage and on the screen. Welsh was born on March 30th, 1942 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. He was a bit of a thespian and studied acting at the National Theatre School in Montreal. He was a bit of a Shakespearean actor. He did like a lot of Shakespearean productions in Ontario. Some of his early roles include in period pieces such as Henry V, The Three Musketeers, and he would also do a bit of historical figures like General Harry Here and Thomas Edison. One of his most well-known roles was Wyndham Earle in David Lynch's iconic TV show Twin Peaks.
Tawdry little trollop.
Shelley.
Just between you and me, old boy, your wife has some fairly modern views on marital fidelity. But no matter, she is still fit for a queen.
His most recent role that he did for TV was Star Trek Discovery as Admiral Senna Tal.
Thank you, sir. Your message gave me hope.
Another science fiction show that some fans may know, viewers might know him from, is The Expanse.
I warned Christian that I was a little preoccupied. You seem pretty relaxed, Bub.
Craig, I've put new points on the dots. Game of cricket.
I have a steady hand.
He appeared in other films as well, such as Crocodile Dundee 2, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, and The Day After Tomorrow, where he performed the role as the Vice President of the United States. Not only was he a great actor, but he was also had a bit of an expansive career when it came to honoring his country of Canada. He was a recipient of the honorary doctorate from the University of Alberta in 1999, and then in 2004, Kenneth Welsh was awarded the CM Member of the Order of Canada for his service to performing arts in Canada. He was also a multiple winner of the Gemini Awards, the acting accolades awarded by Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television. May Mr. Walsh forever be known as a man who had quite great illustrious career, and forever may be remembered. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye. Greetings and salutations. Before we start today's video, I want you to take a moment to like this video, to subscribe, and not only that, but let's try something new. If we can get 1,000 views for this video, or 1,000 new subscribers by July 1st, 2022, I'll reward you, the fans, with something awesome. So take this video, share it on your social media, share it to your friends, your family, whoever, and let's make this goal possible. And also, don't forget to watch, like, and share our other awesome videos. Now on with the show.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out other fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, like, what is he wearing? Jimmy Buffett shirt, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't want to. But today's video is on Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. The film, is directed by Nicholas Myers, who returned after directing the best, well, this is just opinion, but Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. So this is the final Star Trek film that has the majority of the entire crew from the original Star Trek, the show, before it would eventually go onto the crew involving the Next Generation cast. So what was the plot of Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country? So, after the destruction of the Klingon planet Paraxis, the Klingon Emperor they decided to say, we're going to pursue peace treaties with the Federation. However, the assassination attempt on the Chancellor is attempted, and the U.S. Enterprise is led to believe to be the culprits, so they must race to figure out who is the true culprit for this attack. So, originally before this film, there was going to be after, say, the disappointment that was Star Trek 5, there was originally going to be a prequel, but that was kind of scrapped. So, a sequel for the last film, because, the 25th anniversary was happening, so Nicholas Myers was asked to return. One of the inspirations that Leonard Nimoy said, what would have happened if the wall came down in space? So, after giving that bit of detail, who was in the cast? Well, mostly a majority returning cast members of the show, the crew from the show return. Some actors that are new characters to the series include Kim Cattrall as Valeris. She is basically the Enterprise's new helmsman and the first Vulcan to graduate at the top of the Starfleet Academy. Christopher Plummer as Chang. He is the villain, the one-eyed Klingon, and who serves as Gorkon's chief of staff. And David Warner as Gorkon. Rosanna de Solta as Azabur, the daughter of the Chancellor, who basically she's trying to figure what should we do now after the assassination of my father. Ima as Thea, she's a shape-shifting alien who tries to both lead Kirk and McCoy after they get imprisoned.
Come on, Spock. Good enough for one. Two would have looked suspicious. Killed one attempt.
Something escaped. Now that's convincing for both.
Surprise!
So, what was my thoughts on Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country? Well, I actually think this film is really entertaining. The cast and crew, they do a phenomenal job. And the fact that, this was sort of like the swan song for this crew. And honestly, I think it's pretty kind of cool in the fact that Sulu, he becomes a captain this time for the...
Stardate 9521.6. Captain's Log USS Excelsior, Hikaru Sulu commanding. After 3 years, I've concluded my first assignment as master of this vessel, cataloging gaseous planetary anomalies in Beta Quadrant.
He's the captain for the USS Excelsior. That sounds sort of like a, Stan Lee reference. But honestly, actually kind of like the tone for this one compared to, like, say, the other ones, and the fact this one is a, Etrinex-based espionage film. In fact, it's a bit of a mystery to try to figure, okay, who committed this act, why they do it, and all that. So, I mean, I think this actually film is pretty exciting. Christopher Plummer, he is able to elevate Chang to be a great character, and honestly, he actually gives Khan a run for his money.
Would you be so good as to tell me, what is your current medical status?
Aside from a touch of arthritis, I'd say pretty good.
You have a singular wit, Doctor.
And, memorable villain. I'm not saying he overpasses him, but he gives a great performance, and that he's a great, memorable villain.
Chang. Can you see me? Oh, now be honest, Captain. Warrior to warrior. You do prefer it this way, don't you? As it was meant to be. No peace in our time. Once more unto the breach. Dear friends.
Especially when he's quoting Shakespeare. He does a great job in that, too.
To be or not to be.
Especially for, like, say, the assassination attempt, I kind of think that the fact that they used, like, CGI blood, for the assassination attempt, when, like, say, someone gets shot, I actually think that's pretty cool, and it makes it kind of more visceral. In a way, sort of makes it more, kind of elevates in my opinion. It doesn't make say, oh shoot, now there's blood. It makes it seem like a, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It makes it seem kind of elevated in the fact that now that we have, it seems more violent in a way. But it has its purpose, in a way. I will say that, I can't really think of anything that would be, like, a negative. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say this film is actually pretty entertaining. I like the pace, I like the action, and the fact that, they're trying to, like, this idea of a cloaking bird of prey that can also attack while it is cloaked. So, that's pretty cool. I mean, overall, I think the film it's a great send-off for the cast and crew of the original Star Trek show. So, yeah. Well, what do you guys think? Don't forget to put your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Greetings and salutations. Before we start today's video, I want you to take a moment to like this video, to subscribe, and not only that, but let's try something new. If we can get 1,000 views for this video, or 1,000 new subscribers by July 1st, 2022, I'll reward you, the fans, with something awesome. So take this video, share it on your social media, share it to your friends, your family, whoever, and let's make this goal possible. And also, don't forget to watch, like, and share our other awesome videos. Now on with the show.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Well, that was weird. How the fact that my current pop figure just randomly showed up today, and so yeah, today's video is on Star Trek 7 or Star Trek Generations. It's the first film in the series revolving the crew of the Next Generation. So before we get into this, I'm gonna give a little bit of details. So when did Star Trek Undiscovered Country come out? Oh yeah, 1981. And how long was Next Generation 4 going on for? Let's think about that. It just ended 5 months. The Next Generation had ended 5 months before the film Generations came out. The film Generations was filmed during the middle of season 7. The selling point of this film is the fact that Picard meets Captain Kirk. But here's the thing. Kirk is only in the film and his crew are only in it for, well, his, like, I'm trying to think, basically, Kirk's crew is only in the film for less than 10 minutes. Kirk is in the film for, I'd say, at the most, 20 minutes. At the most, I'd say. And yeah, if Next Generation was going on for, and it was almost in its 7th season when this film came out, why did it take them so long to think, wait, we need to do a passing of the torch, we gotta get this out? I'm rambling too much, aren't I? Maybe we should just go ahead and talk about the film. Star Trek Generations. And so you probably we've gone through this before. Most of the cast from Star Trek Next Generation is the majority of the cast in this film. A couple of characters who are, like, say if you're not, like, probably a viewer of this show, yeah, remember, only seen the first season, because, yeah, they're a bit slow at their stuff, you know? But we have 2 characters that are in this, actually 3. We have the Dora's sisters.
I hope for your sake you are initiating a mating ritual.
You got careless. The Romulans came looking for their missing trilithium.
Impossible. We'll have no survivors on their outpost.
Barbara March and Gwyneth Walsh. They are in the film as the Doris sisters, and also the lead villain played by the always great Malcolm McDowell. And so basically, what was the plot of the film? Well,
What you're about to do, Soren, is no different from when the Borg destroyed your world. They killed millions, too. Including your wife. Children.
Nice try. You know, there was a time when I wouldn't hurt a fly. Then the Borg came.
Jean-Luc Picard, he ends up joining a force with Captain Kirk to stop the villainous Tolonian Storm from basically destroying a planetary system, and basically he's trying to return to another dimension called the Nexus. The Nexus is basically almost in a way like heaven, where, like, say, if you can dream it or think about it, if you have fond feelings about it.
Love you, Father. Were you scared? Look at the tree. I helped decorate it. It took all day. Say Merry Christmas, Papa. See the presents? I love you, Father.
I love you too.
Come on, children, let's move back and give your father some room.
Yeah, it's there. And for a idea for our next generation, that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, that idea is only, like, say, the Nexus part of it, like, say, where characters are, you know, in this heaven sort of idea. That's only in the third act of the film for, like, say, I'm gonna say 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes. And then, yeah. So, some, like, bit of details that are important to this is that, like, you know, plots, is the fact that Data, he ends up getting himself a chip so that he can be able to have emotions.
I am uncertain. Because I have had little experience with emotion, I am unable to articulate the sensation.
Emotion?
I'll explain later.
Ooh. Well, it looks like he hates it.
Yes, that is it. I hate this.
So, at times during the course of the film, he is having, you know, sporadic moments like, say, happy.
I just love scanning for life forms. Life forms. You tiny little life forms. You precious little life forms. Where are you?
Joy! And at times also, laughter.
I get it! I get it!
You get what?
When you said to Commander Riker, the clown can stay, but the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go.
Yeah, so he has more human, and this idea of, like, having Data become more human-like, goes through this film franchise, The Next Generation. But it makes me think, like, say, did he ever, I bet there was episodes where he probably, like, say, had more human emotion, where he had wants, feelings. I bet that was in this show. And I'll bet, like, say, that probably would have, that, like, you know, compared to viewers, they probably thought, like, this is a cool idea, but there was probably episodes in the show where Data had some moments where he was happy or sad, but he probably couldn't, you know, he, like, say, Brett Spiner probably showed those features on his face and all that, but he probably said, like, say, I do not understand these feelings and all that. Then, in all honesty, like, say, I'll be honest, I really do not think that the aspect of having this passing of the torch with the old crew and this new crew, if they was going to do that, that should have been early in the franchise life of the Next Generation. But keep in mind, during this time period for the Next Generation, they were trying to keep themselves away from, like, they were trying to, you know, say, hey, we're a new series, let's not constantly be referring to the old, because fans were already, sometimes during that time period, fans were already, like, you know, giving them trouble, kind of getting in trouble during the first run of the Next Generation for not having good episodes, or, like, say, this is inferior Trek and all that stuff. But for a Star Trek film, the ideas of, like, say, the Nexus are pretty neat. I think it's pretty cool having, like, say, Kirk come back one more time.
Just who the hell are you?
He's James T. Kirk. Don't you read history?
But I really think, like, having him there and then just killing him off.
At least I could do. But the captain of the Enterprise. It was fun. Oh my.
Like, say, I think Kirk's character was, he had a great send-off in the last film of the Undiscovered Country. Anyway, and, yeah, I'm probably being pretty negative in all honesty, but in honesty, I mean, say, it has good ideas, and it's in the right place, like, say, having ideas for Data and all that, and as well as Picard realizing he's getting old, and the fact that his family has died, and all that, and he just realized, like, say, well, I guess someone will also one day be able to have this ship. So there's that. I'm gonna be honest, I still think this is pretty good. Beginning of the film, like, you know, has Worf being promoted and all that.
They'll never make it. No one ever has.
But, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool the way the holodeck turns into a ship. I mean, some of the ideas with the holodeck are pretty cool. But, in honesty, I understand what they were trying to do with, you know, like, do a bit of passing of the torch. But, after, like, you know, into your 7th season, do you really need a passing of the torch by that point? And I understand why they were doing it. That, you know, there was probably some fans that were probably still wanting to see Picard and Kirk and all those other characters meet. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Put your thoughts in those comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. What the heck is that communicator? Maybe that pop figure has it. See you later. Greetings and salutations. Before we start today's video, I want you to take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and not only that, But let's try something new. If we can get 1,000 views for this video, or 1,000 new subscribers, by July 1st, 2022, I'll reward you, the fans, with something awesome. So, take this video, share it on your social media, share it to your friends, your family, whoever, and let's make this goal possible. And also, don't forget to watch, like, and share our other awesome videos. Now on with the show.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out other fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
So I got another box. A box of stuff. This should be exciting. That last one seemed to do well. But, so, let's not waste any time. Let's open the box. Well, the box is partially open. Blame the cat. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's just grab anything. Hopefully it's not a snake, because that'd be terrifying. Maybe it's a CD. Is it a CD? A Star Trek CD? What is it? Is it? Hey, it's a PS1 game. Someone really must know about my liking for PlayStation 1. Star Trek Invasion. Activision. Well, that's cool, because I mean, honestly, I really actually love the PlayStation, my favorite systems, so this will actually be kind of fun. Just gotta dig out that old PS3. Hey, it's a book! IDW Star Trek, Planet of the Apes, The Primate Directive. Written by Tipton, Scott Kirchhoff. The Primate Directive. Maybe we'll see a video talking about this. A little golden book? Star Trek, Too Many Triples. And now, children, it's time for me to read you a golden book. Too Many Triples by Frank Barrows. Captain's Log, Stardate 4523.3. Captain Kirk and the crew of the U.S. Enterprise have received an urgent call from Deep Space Station K7. Could it be a Klingon attack? I think this is too young for me. I have a nephew, little cousin. I'll give it to him. This seems age appropriate for him. He's only 3. He probably wouldn't know what Star Trek is, but maybe I can make him, maybe it would make him interested in science fiction. Thank you for that one. Is it? It feels soft. It feels soft. It's a shirt. It's a shirt. I've been wanting to get a shirt. Star Trek. Yeah. Explore strange new worlds. I can't wear this stuff out and get to conventions. If I go to any. Because I actually think this looks pretty cool. I don't see many Star Trek shirts like that. That's actually pretty cool. Thank you, whoever got sent this stuff. Someone's really wanted me to get to play SNES games. Another SNES game is Star Trek Starfleet Academy Starship Bridge Simulator for the Super Nintendo. I think this is very, what's the word? Suggestive. No, seems like this could be a sign. Wait a minute. Didn't someone send a copy of this last time? Star Trek 25th Anniversary on SNES? Again? Yeah, someone's saying they say, hey, review this. I would do that if I had my Retron cables. I really need to get a new Retron. Yes. Another book. This is actually pretty cool. It's Star Trek Killing Time by Della Van Hise. This one's actually pretty interesting because it has a bit of history to it. That it's one of the first Star Trek novels that had a bit of slash in it, bit between Spock and Kirk. Yeah, I don't care what you say. This can. I don't know. I need to check this out. Read this. Guys, I mean, look at that art. That's something you hang on a poster. That looks like classic science fiction Star Trek. You got some ladies there. You got like a alternative version of Spock. Someone who sent these things must really like to read, or want me to read novels. Star Trek Prometheus. Fire. With fire. A mysterious terrorist organization carried out several attacks against the Federation and Klingon Empire. Tensions are running high in a region already crippled by conflict. The perpetrators are tracked to the Limbada cluster, a mysterious region of space whose inhabitants, the Renio, regard Alpha Quadrant's powers as little more than conquering tyrants. The Federation are desperate to prevent more bloodshed and have sent their flagship, the USS Prometheus, into clusters. Let's look at this for a second. Fire with fire. Oh hey, look at this. To all fans worldwide, you have kept Star Trek alive since 1966. You hear that? You hear that, viewers? You hear that? You hear that, Crick? I'm keeping Star Trek alive. Sorry. Nerd moment. Sorry. Spock adult costume. This is from the J.J. Abrams universe. This is actually pretty cool, honestly. Hopefully it would fit. I am small. I mean, look. I mean, it actually looks pretty cool. But there's plans of me might go to Comic-Con. I'm not sure yet. Been discussed, but you know, things change every now and then. Hopefully you're watching Mr. Scott, because this one, what? Actually, Star Trek: The Book of Friendship. You have been and always shall be my friend. This one's from Mr. Scott. Thank you to Mr. Scott and all he does. I'm going to say this to him. You have been and always shall be my friend, Mr. Scott. Hopefully you all enjoy this of me getting a bunch of stuff and looking through it and all that. So, yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Live long and prosper. Greetings and salutations. Before we start today's video, I want you to take a moment to like this video, to subscribe, and not only that, but let's try something new. If we can get 1,000 views for this video, or 1,000 new subscribers, by July 1st, 2022, I'll reward you, the fans, with something awesome. So, take this video, share it on your social media, share it to your friends, your family, whoever, and let's make this goal possible. And also, don't forget to watch, like, and share our other awesome videos. Now on with the show.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out other fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
You know, Kirk Pop Figure, I really want to open you up. I want to up you up, but I feel like if I open you up, I'd get a lot of comments, and the comment section tell me like, "You fool! You've ruined the collector's value." Because I really want to put you on a shelf, and then you can just stare at me. Because look at that. Look at those eyes. They stare into your soul. They just do. Look at him. He's staring into your soul. And you're probably wondering where I'm coming from and all that, but today we're going to be talking about toys. In this case, Galileo toys. And if you don't know what Galileo toys are, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of backstory, as much as I can, on Galileo toys. And keep in mind, this is also a top 5 video on what I think are probably, say, the coolest looking ones from their figure toy line involving Star Trek. So, a little bit of history time. So, Galileo Toys. The company was originally founded in 1957, and it went defunct in 1958 in England, and it went defunct as a toy company in 1998. It was founded by Louis Globe and his wife Barbara. as a toy distributor of toys and stationery. Its first successful toy that they'd done was Jolly Chimp, a cymbal-banging monkey toy that nodded his head when activated. The company was incorporated in 1968. However, Lewis, he became a bit too ill to continue as president, so his 21-year-old son, David, he ended up dropping out of University of California to take over the family business. In partnership with his brother, Vice President Mart Glob, David aggressively pursued new product development and transformed the company into a multi-billion business by 1976. However, the company was greatly affected by the financial collapse of Black Monday in 1987, in which it lost, get ready for this, $25 million. But the following year, it recovered by generating a profit of $6 million. By 1988, the company manufactured 85% of its toys in China. So, now that we've gotten that little bit of detail out of the way, let's dive right in. So, I'm going to go off easy. Let's start off with number 5. Number 5 is Cybok. It was from The Final Frontier. This was a figure that was released around the same time as the Final Frontier film. I gotta say, the figure looks really great in honesty. Although, I'm gonna be honest, he looks like the actor, and the same like it is inspired by. I do have one of the things I would say that it doesn't really work about it is his eyebrows, his little carpet, his little caterpillars are a bit too bushy. I mean, that's all I can really think of. I mean, and honestly, it's like a cool little figure. Doesn't look bad. I mean, by today's standards, we've gotten a bit better at making figures. So, moving on to the next one. So, number 4. Number 4 is a Q figure. Q, if you haven't really been following Star Trek, especially when it comes to the Next Generation, Q is basically a sentient god who basically, at times, will just mess around with the Star Trek, the Enterprise crew, and will just, say, hey, you guys are crazy, or you guys are just fun. Sometimes he'll, show up on the ship, and Picard just says, get out here! But his figure is from his first episode from Encounter at Farpoint, and when he's in this Judge Regalia. Although, I'll be honest, the figure actually looks pretty good. Although, I'm gonna be honest, the red lips, it reminds me something of a character from, Mike Myers. Or, yeah, it looks like something from, a Mike Myers character. Moving on. Number 3. Number 3 is a Galileo space shuttle. So, this one is actually a pretty cool little, vehicle. I mean, honest, I'd kind of buy this one. Looks cool in honesty. Like, I'd have played with this one as a kid. Yeah, I mean, this was kind of straightforward. It's pretty cool looking. not much else I can say than that this would be a cool little figure if I had the other figures to put them in and all that. So, number 2. Number 2 is Data. Sometimes when it comes to figures, like say, especially when you have like a face figure, sometimes it's gonna be like say hard to like actually make it look like it's model or actor normally. But I actually think that this figure actually looks pretty great. Actually, like Data or slash Brett Spiner. Looks actually pretty good. I mean, it's it's like it's a figure. It looks like it looks very authentic. So it looks pretty good. So I mean, yeah, I mean, that's not much I can say about it. It looks pretty cool. It looks like say the say the ones that they would spend most time or trying to get right away. But I feel like the same when it came to these toys, they probably did their best at doing all that. So, on to the final figure. So, a Type 1 phaser. Yes, this time I'm looking at like another thing, which is a phaser. I'll be honest, although it's part of the Glob toys, I think it's the most unique. I mean, not because it's just it's not a figure, but I'm kind of cheating, I suppose. Also, it's because it's the most unique thing. Although, because I mean, I'll be honest, the figures look good. Although I'll be honest, the worst looking one was probably Worf. Yeah, that one wasn't really good. That one did not look good. I mean, I guess one of the. I mean, I think that it's. I mean, I guess the phaser is pretty cool. It has a flashlight on it, but at the same time, I'm guessing it's. If I was like, if I had this as a kid, if I was born in the time period when this came out, I would say that would have been a cool toy. I would have actually gotten, or would have tried to have gotten. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much more I can say. But, so, what actually happened to, like, say, the rest of Globo? Like, say, say, one of the things that ended up happening with Globo is that they, unfortunately, for them, that the toy lines that they did, apparently they thought, they marketed it wrong, and the fact that they mostly focused the Star Trek toys and get it mostly to kids instead of say adult collectors and all that. So there's that. So yeah, they didn't really think who is going to be our main audience for these toys. So yeah, that's one thing that they miscalculated in a way. So what happened to Globo? Where are they now?
So what happened to after like the company? Well, in September 1998, American toy giant Hasbro purchased Glob for $220 million. Today, it is a Hasbro brand name. The name began appearing on retail products starting in 2005. Hasbro has used the brand logo on its Titanium series die-cast metal collectibles, including various items from Transformers, Star Wars, and Battlestar Galactica. And just like in today's topic, Star Trek.
which it makes me think, like, say, like, some products they had, like, say, a Terminator, and, heck, even Aliens. It makes me think, like, say, you're making these for, like, probably with the time period would have been kids, but later they would be, you know, adult collectors would be buying these. So, probably they didn't really think of, like, say, what would be the most financially profitable bets. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully you found this informative. I'm gonna try and freak you all out. Do I dare to open?
You've ruined the collector's value! Never remove from box!
I think I just committed the cardinal sin. Yep, I committed the cardinal sin of slightly opening the box. The only thing else would make it worse is if I went fully, but I won't go that far. I won't rip anyone's hearts out. But, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you later. Greetings and salutations. Before we start today's video, I want you to take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and not only that, but let's try something new. If we can get 1,000 views for this video, or 1,000 new subscribers, by July 1st, 2022, I'll reward you, the fans, with something awesome. So, take this video, share it on your social media, share it to your friends, your family, whoever, and let's make this goal possible. And also, don't forget to watch, like, and share our other awesome videos. Now on with the show.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out other fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Oh, hello there. Well, I'm just getting started on upcoming video, but today's video is on, this isn't the best segue into it, but today's video is on Star Trek First Contact. So the film is from the year 1996, and it was directed by Jonathan Frakes. It was his directorial debut, and it is also the 8th film in the Star Trek film franchise, and it's like the second film in the Next Generation cast. In this film, the crew of the Enterprise travel back in time from the 24th century to basically the 21st century to stop the cybernetic Borg from conquering Earth by changing their past, to make sure a event that had occurred happens so that interstellar travel actually can occur. So a majority of the crew from the Star Trek Next Generation are part of the cast. There's quite a few actors that appear in this film that are new to the franchise, such as Alfred Woodard as Lily Sloan and James Cromwell as Catherine Cochran. So, what did I actually think of the film? I'm gonna be honest that I thought the film is... there are two bit of subplots involving the film, such as, like, say, the Borg coming back and taking over the Earth and having to go back to the past to stop them. I like this idea, and the fact that, say, most of the moments with the Borg feel like a horror film.
Ready, phasers!
I mean, the majority of, like, say, the idea of the Borg is a bit of a horror film in the fact that, you know, they touch you and you have, like, been changed into the one of them. Anyway, that is kind of, that idea is pretty creepy. It's sort of like, say, passing on ideals to another, in a way. And then you also have the Borg Queen. And like, say, there's some other subplots, like, say, Data, he is still trying to, like, you know, dealing with the emotion chip and all that, and trying to believe maybe I can be human one day. Which that kind of happens in the film, at least. And then you also have the other plot of trying to help a scientist or an engineer, Dr. Zathram Cochran. Basically, he's trying to... Basically, they had to try to make sure that he is able to get his ship into the air and go to velocity so that alien contact sees it and go, oh, humans have been able to go into the quite faster than we thought and all that. So some of the things I think is pretty cool is the fact that, like, we in the show, like you say, Picard, he ends up getting assimilated by the Borg, so he still is dealing with that and remembering all those kind of things. So, in a way, his whole deal with the Borg is sort of, it is, in a way, like he is Captain Ahab and the Borg is the whale from Moby Dick. And, you know, basically he's just trying to, like, say, hey, I'm the only one who knows. Heck, he even goes, like, say, I'm the only one who knows about these things, how to fight them, and all that, and all that stuff. And that's pretty cool, and honestly, I'll be honest, it's pretty cool seeing Captain Picard use a Tommy gun. And all that. I do... Here's my thought about the whole changing of the past and, you know, trying to fix it. I think that idea is pretty cool, and honestly. And, I mean, I think it works. I just kind of wish that more of the story was based around the Borg and idea. But I understand why it's there, because you need to have, instead of just entire dark film geared towards the Borg, you want to have some moments of, like, you know, lightness to offset it. So you have that, in honesty. And, you know, I think, like, you know, the character of Zathram Cochran, and he actually is pretty cool character in the fact that, you know, hey, I'm not this guy who's just wanting to change the future. I just wanting to do this because I wanted to be able to retire and all this. I wanted to be able to get rich off this.
So, what is it you want me to do?
Simple. Conduct your warp flight tomorrow morning, just as you planned.
Why tomorrow morning?
Because at 11 o'clock, an alien ship will begin passing through this solar system.
Alien, you mean extraterrestrials? More bad guys?
Good guys. They're on a survey mission. They have no interest in Earth. Too primitive.
Oh.
But then I feel, but as the film goes on, he will also say, "Huh, maybe there's some good in this." I'll say, and I also kind of like the fact. I think my favorite moment involving him is the, like, as soon as he was like, "Oh no, we can't launch it. Gotta play the tunes."
Where is it?
What?
16. We can't lift off without it.
Jordy, we've got to abort.
14, no, 13, wait, I found it.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8.
Let's
7,
rock and roll.
6.
Yeah, so yeah, I actually kind of like that. Honestly, I think it's pretty cool and funny. I'm gonna be honest though, it seems like, say, like Gates McFadden, like who plays Dr. Beverly Crusher, it seems like, say, although she does a great job in the role and the film, it seemed like, say, she was just getting tired of the role. Like, she's still doing a great job, but it seems like she was just getting tired. I actually do kind of think it's pretty cool that Jordy, the fact that, you know, he doesn't have to wear his glasses anymore, or the fact. So yeah, I mean, the fact that you're able to see LeVar Burton be able to truly act facially and all that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that helps, and the fact that he gave him a bit more to work with. I mean, overall, I mean, it's been years since I've watched this. Probably since I did the Lab Center review of it, but on a friend's channel. I gotta still think this is actually a very entertaining film. I love the aspects of the Borg. I love the horror aspects of it. I do think it's kind of weird the fact that the Borg Queen, and the fact that, you know, she at one time hits on Data, and it seems like, say, it gets pretty sexual, and honestly, one moment where she's just talking about, like, say, has it been a while since you've had anything sexual going on?
Are you familiar with physical forms of pleasure?
If you are referring to sexuality, I am fully functional, programmed in multiple techniques.
How long has it been since you've used them?
8 years, 7 months, 16 days, 4 minutes, 22.
Far too long.
And they just go like, yeah, I'm fully operational and functional. I mean, it's funny. At the same time, I'm saying, like, it's like an android, and then like a robot woman who looks like a lizard. Mostly it's because of the makeup and all that. She looks like a, like, say, the oil and all that stuff, the Borg Queen. I mean, it's a great look for her, but at the same time, she also looks like part robot, part lizard, but without the tail and all that. But what do you guys think of Star Trek First Contact? Do you think it's an entertaining film? I kind of do.
Resistance is futile.
But what do you guys think? Put your thoughts in those comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll most definitely see you next time. Better get back to reading this for you guys. See you later. Greetings and salutations. Before we start today's video, I want you to take a moment to like this video, to subscribe, and not only that, but let's try something new. If we can get 1,000 views for this video, or 1,000 new subscribers, by July 1st, 2022, I'll reward you, the fans, with something awesome. So, take this video, share it on your social media, share it to your friends, your family, whoever, and let's make this goal possible. And also, don't forget to watch, like, and share our other awesome videos. Now on with the show.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out other fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
When it comes to things in pop culture, especially in comics, like, well, you'd think, like, say, what meshes well and what doesn't, when, like, say, when you do crossovers of that nature. One would think, like, say, something like, say, Star Trek and any other kind of pop culture or science fiction probably would work well. Heck, there's, like, say, Star Trek and Transformers. There's Star Trek and Doctor Who, which is involving the Next Generation crew. Which, I'll be honest, seen that, I'd buy that. But today, we're not talking about that. Today, we're talking about this. Star Trek Planet of the Apes, the Primate Directive, from Boom Studios or IDW. Written by Tipton, Scott, and all that. So it was written by Scott Tipton and David Tipton, and art by Rachel Stott, and colors by Charlie Kirchhoff. So, in honesty, this kind of comic, it encapsulates both series in a way that makes sense.
Obviously.
The parts when it comes to the Planet Apes parts of it, it kind of adds details from all 3 original films, whether it's the Planet of the Apes.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
And Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and as well as Escape from. Let's read a bit of, like, say, description on the back of the cover. Investigating rumors of Klingon expansionism, Captain Kirk and the crew of the USS Enterprise discover a mysterious transmissional portal being used by the Klingons. Following the Klingons through the portal, the Enterprise crew is surprised to find themselves orbiting a far future parallel, one where the Federation apparently never existed. Upon beaming down the planet, Kirk and Spock find a familiar face. So, I gotta say, although this image of General Marius, or, I'm not sure if it's exactly him, but, grabbing, say, that's probably Kirk's uniform, that really captures you into the book, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool. Although, one of my issues with this book is that although we get a bit of action between Kirk and George Taylor, we never really get any kind of, say, moment where the Enterprise crew is being held capture from, say, the apes or any of the other you know, the guerrillas or anything like that. That never really happens. Mostly they try to help Taylor and as well as other characters. Try to help, like say every character, like say Zara and Dr. Zaius and General Isaris as well. They try mostly it's trying to figure like, okay, there's going to be a war going on in Aussie, and that kind of happens, and it's mostly like say, what was this dude's name? What was his name? Aha, now I remember. Course. Basically, it's like he's like say a follower of the Klingons, and basically he's trying to help the Klingons say, okay, here we go. We are trying to figure out how to, you know, do a bunch of colonizations on other planets and all that other stuff. You know, basically gives them, the apes, a bunch of weapons that they can use to, you know, conquer the planet and all that. And that kind of, in a way, it also kind of helps the film in a way, because during the films, like say food has started to dwindle and all that, and the second film, like say beneath the Planet of the Apes, like it's led to believe, okay, there is a doomsday like bomb or something like that.
Bloody bastard.
In one of the countless billions of galaxies in the universe lies a medium-sized star, and one of its satellites, a green and insignificant planet, is now dead.
And say at the end of the comic, and there it's revealed, hey, the planet is exploding.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the United States.
It's led to believe that, say, I kind of think it's pretty cool in the fact that it's like, say, oh hey, why don't we use this, known as the slingshot effect. And honestly, I kind of like think these images, all these images, they look actually really good. The artists, they did a really great job, and honestly, I just wish there was more moments where, like, say, the actual, you know, the apes or gorillas, or they had actually held the characters hostage. I mean, look at that bit of artwork. That is awesome of me. I just wish there was more moments of, like, where it feels like, say, the apes have the crew hostage. That never really happens. So, yeah. I wish that could have happened, honestly. But that doesn't happen. But, I mean, yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest, I think this is a pretty good comic. And I think the writers, they did a pretty great job of looking at the franchises and see, okay, what works, what doesn't work, how can we make a well-connected story? And, yeah, how can we make it so it is a love letter to both Trek and as well as the Planet of the Apes franchise? I mean, I kind of think it'd be pretty cool if they made a sequel to this as well, where, say, the Next Generation crew decided to, as well as go through a portal to find, like, say what happened to the Planet of the Apes characters. But then again, maybe next time we do, like, a review involving Trek, maybe we'll do Doctor Who and the NTG crew and Star Trek Doctor Who Assimilation 2, because that one actually looks pretty cool. But then again, I'm actually a really big fan of Doctor Who as well. I got a huge retro Doctor Who library. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this comic? Have you read it? Have you not? Have you thought about checking this out? Put your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll most definitely see you next time. See you later.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out other fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, welcome to the show. So, I recently got a new pop figure. In this case, it's Saru from Star Trek The Next Generation. From Star Trek Discovery. Looks pretty cool, doesn't he? I'm being modest. Unfortunately, this film was just...
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Must hold my strength.
Get on with it.
Today's film was Star Trek Insurrection. Let's get right in and talk about this thing. Who directed the film? It was written by Jonathan Frakes, and the film had a budget of $70 million and a box office return of $117.8 million. Like a majority of the cast from the show. Some of the new characters that are included in the film include F. Murray Abraham as Rufario as commander of the Sona, Donna Murphy as Ani, Baku woman, Anthony Zerba as Vice Admiral Donnery, and Greg Henry as Gallant, a member of the Sona group crew and Raphael's second in command. So basically the crew of the Enterprise, they end up rebelling against Starfleet after they discover a conspiracy involving the species known as Sona to steal the peaceful Baku's planet for rejuvenating properties. In this case, in a way, the Fountain of Youth. Normally I would say that would be a great idea for a film, especially Star Trek, in the fact that, hey, like, say a group is trying to steal the rejuvenating, life-giving powers of one group and, use it to, so Starfleet can basically help, create everlasting life for everyone's guys. I'm gonna be honest, and that's the only thing I can be, is honest. I found this film tediously boring. And I hate to say that because I don't really want to ever say that a Star Trek property is boring. Because, Star Trek should not be boring, It should have a sense of adventure, a sense of excitement, in a way. However, I'd say the Bakus, basically their whole plan is basically, in a way, they have rejected, the, technology. In a way, they're the Amish of outer space, in the fact that
We are here to rescue them.
As you wish, but I would ask you to disarm yourselves. This village is a sanctuary of life.
Prepare the hostages for transport to the ship.
They should be quarantined before joining the ship's population.
although they could have the opportunity to get off this planet and, hyperdrive anywhere they want, they think, no, we're gonna be, peaceful individuals and just stay where we are. Basically, the beginning of the film starts with, Data, being malfunctioning and having to, and then, revealing himself to this group.
Get inside, now.
Find shelter. Everyone, get inside! Now! Back to your home! Move it!
Yeah. That is actually pretty cool in the fact that, Data has, in a way, let himself, be exposed to this group who don't have, no interest in technology, is just not interested in this. And, yeah, basically, the crew has to go get him and all that. I'm sorry, but the Baku, they're boring in that, say, say the areas, they live, say, for a, set location, it looks very lovely. And all that. And, it would nice to spend time looking at the environment and all the shots of that. However, it is really hard for me to say, in the fact I just found this film very dull, in the fact that, it's cool, say, this duology idea of, say, technology versus, say, old-fashioned way of doing things, of just, in a way, say, roughing it, in that, we're gonna do this old-fashioned way, using sticks, and, or, basically just doing things the old-fashioned way. And that is kind of cool, I suppose, but there's not much really excitement going on, all that. Ideologically wise, it's an interesting concept for a Star Trek film, but at the same time, the whole gist of this episode, it feels like, say, something that would have appeared in the show on a higher budget. And I'd say the makeup for the Sona, it looks pretty cool in the fact that, their face looks like it's been pulled together, almost like that.
You want to avoid unnecessary risks? Next time, leave your android at home.
Bridge to Adaro Alpha. We are approaching the planet.
Take us into a high orbit. Lie down, Admiral. The girls will take 20 years off your face.
Another time, perhaps.
Your self-restraint puzzles me, Admiral.
And the actors, especially Abrams, they're doing a good job. They're doing the best they can, honestly. And I gotta say that Patrick Stewart, and the fact that he has a bit of a romance in the film, say, it works, I suppose. But this film, it's not really a Star Trek film that I'd come back to. I'd say, compared to the other films, say, some of the other films can be considered slow, but they have a natural progression to say, okay, something visually exciting is going on. Say the Star Trek 4 the Journey Home, something like that. Although it is say about trying to get whales, it's interesting in what they're trying to do. There's humor to it. The fact that okay, the crew is in a out of water scenario and all that. However, with this one, it's just say. What I'm trying to say is say, it would have been cool if there would have been more moments of say, some characters like say, okay, technology is not really usable here and all that. We've like say Captain Riker, Commander Riker, he ends up shaving.
Yuck.
Yuck.
And I'm gonna probably say, in the show, I bet they probably kissed using with him when he probably still had his beard.
I never kissed you with a beard before.
I kiss you and you say yuck?
And I'm just saying, and I bet they probably did. I probably bet they had. Well, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, Frakes directed the film. I bet he said like, hey, can we have like say. He probably had like a moment where he thought like, okay, oh shoot, I've shaved, and okay guys, can we write that in like to for some reason like why I shave to make it, you know, sense of consistency. I'm gonna be honest that the whole villains his whole death sequence, visually it's interesting, but at the same time, I'm gonna be honest, as like compared to the death sequences of other villains, like from the Star Trek films, it's not like say yes, like visually I'd suppose, or say any other kind of. There's not really much satisfaction in that. It's just like saying, "Oh, fire!" It's not like say the villain is given much of a satisfying death sequence, and like it's not like say Abrams, he did the best he could.
Everything we saw was an illusion. Raw for authorization Delta 2-1. Override all interlink commands to Injector Assembly 1.
Unable to comply. Injector Assembly 1 has been deactivated.
But I don't really feel like he had much of like say, I am evil, or I have, you know, done, like compared to other films, like I don't think he really killed anyone. Well, maybe he did in it, but if he did, then yeah.
Federation. We'll never know what happened here.
But maybe it's because of that, like, I'm going to sacrifice everyone on this planet if I don't get what I want, sort of ideal. But I'm sorry. I just found this one just boring. And I don't ever want to come to that conclusion. I don't ever want to say like a film is boring or uninteresting. But I mean, if someone gets, like, say, into a film, that's great. I'm glad that they were able to get some entertainment out of it. I mean, visually, the film is really nice to look at. Sometimes there can be gags that work, like, say, Data. For the past films, he's been trying to act more like a human. Whereas this, or like, say, it's just like, say, oh, we forgot about that plot, an idea. And, yeah, it's just like, say, it seems like he's just going back to acting like his old self and all that. So there's that whole subplot of him trying to be human is just thrown away. And, okay, now I would like to know what it would be like if I could have been a child and, you know, all that. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Insurrection? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll most definitely see you guys next time. See you later.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the show, Star Trek again. We're back to talking about episodes. This time we're talking about Star Trek The Next Generation. In this case, it's episodes 5 and episode 6. The Last Outpost and Where No Man Has Gone Before. Or Where No One Has Gone Before. Yeah, there was in the first season of Star Trek, there was the second, I think it was either second or third episode called where no man has come before. So yeah, let's talk about The Last Outpost first. So what makes this episode very special is that this is the first appearance of the, I am probably going to butcher this and I apologize, the Ferengi. Yes, so yeah. They are aliens that also appear in Deep Space Nine as well. Originally this is the first episode they appear. They were going to be say a villain. Going to be a race of aliens that would have been say rivaled the say the Romulans, or they were going to be a villain that would have rivaled the Romulans or the Klingons, but apparently they say although the characters are they are visually interesting.
Your alien images again shock us.
With regard to the surrender, Demeter, the facts are somewhat different.
Our own probe has already shown us your trickery, Kuman. We withdraw our surrender.
Agreed.
They come off as more kind of goofy with how they act and all that.
Moves. Kill him like that. That's what we've done. Broken our agreement with our captain. We will accuse the humans of preparing to ambush us.
So what was this episode about? So, the Enterprise, they are, pursuing a Ferengi ship, on the planet Yamatar 4. Where both ships they end up getting disabled, and by getting unknown power, and as the power for both ships start to drain, they decide to say we're both going to go on down to this planet, and they decide basically an automated system, like a computer or something like that. He's just say, oh, which one of you is the bad guy? Anyway, so for an episode that gives you the say a introduction to a new race of aliens for the first time, I find this one in all honesty kind of entertaining. In all honesty, it's actually pretty good in the fact that we get some new villains. Characters, aliens, and it's actually pretty cool on me. Their look for them was done by Andrew Probert, with modifications by Michael Westmore, who was the guest appearances in this episode. Armin Shimmerman as Letkit, Jake Dingal as Mordok, Tracy Walter as Cade. Dale Henriquez as Portal, and Mike Gomez as Dementor. So, I gotta say, I'll say some things that are pretty kind of funny. Is that I think that, let's say that one of the subplots, well, it's not really a subplot, it's just say a thing that happens, is that Data discovers Chinese finger toys. Chinese finger toys where you put your fingers in it and then you get trapped. He discovers those and thinks, oh, isn't this amusing, and all that, and then he gets his finger stuck. And yeah, I mean, visually, I think this alien race, I think they're pretty cool. Although it makes it they visually, it also looks like they got really big ears, which I guess they do. And honestly, I mean, they look like, say, for an episode that delves into this new race, it's pretty cool, and honestly. And I mean, yeah, I find this entertaining. It's in the we find okay, can we trust these guys? Yeah, they're kooky, and yet they also have whips.
Who are you?
Kinky. Yeah, I mean, so they have I guess they have say power laser whips or something. Probably hurt. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, overall, I feel like this episode can be kind of entertaining. I mean, I think it does a pretty good job of, say, okay, as, a theme, probably, one theme I probably would say, if I had to guess, is probably, because, Star Trek always had a lot of themes. I'd say this one has to do with the theme of, say, I'm not really sure, because, I mean, say, the Ferengi, yeah, I think that they are bits, they can be, they seem to be, very, calculated, and that, say, okay, sometimes they say, well, what about us? They were going to attack us. They seem to be, they'll take an opportunity or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I found this episode entertaining. What do you guys see in this episode? So, let's move on to the next one, which is Where No One Has Gone Before. So who guest appeared in this episode? Stanley Kamel as Colin Siski, Eric Muraki as the Traveler, Herta War as Memna Picard, Biff Yeager as Argali. So, what was the... Oh, yeah, and Ron Jones did the music for this episode. What happened in this episode? The Enterprise, they are, visited by Mr. Kowaczewski, and an alien, basically, he gotta call himself the Traveler. Basically, they end up, the Traveler sends them, the Enterprise, to a distant part of the universe. And help Wesley, he finally, played by Will Wheaton, he is able to help, in a way, save the day. And, yeah, he ends up being better friends with the Traveler. And, well, because in the first season of the show, Wesley, he is sort of most of the crew, including Captain Picard, he's saying, keep this kid off my, the main cabin and all that. But he's, as the show has gone along, keep in mind, only 6 episodes, he seems to be getting, a bit of more character development in that, slowly, in the fact that, he is trying to, he wants to become part of the main crew. And I feel like if I can compare this to any of the other, classic episodes of the show, I'd say, although it has a bit of theming, say, ideals of, say, since they're going so far into the galaxy, or the galaxy of the past, or the present, or future, or something like that. It's entertaining in the fact, like, say, some individuals are seeing things that they remember from their past, or seeing in their imagination. Like, sometimes they might see a monster attacking them, or Picard sees.
You look tense, Jean-Luc. Come and have a cup of tea. I'll make it good and strong, the way you like it.
Maman?
We will have a nice, long talk.
This can't be. You've been
Dead, but I'm always with you.
And yeah, I mean, basically, it's like sort of like, say, an eye of the beholder of what you're going to be seeing in a way. And yeah, I mean, I think the acting is pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of thought that the actor for the travel, I kind of felt like he does a great job, in honesty. At the same time, I thought, like, say, this guy has a great voice, and I thought like it's like, you know, soothing. At the same time, I thought like he'd be pretty menacing if he was in like a horror-based story as well. Although I gotta say that Mr. Kozinski, sorry, yeah, I feel like he's kind of like this know-it-all kind of dude. Like, say, I know everything is on this starship. I know what we need to do. I know how we can get back to where we need to be and all that. And I'm just saying, like, say, yeah, dude. If I was the captain of these, like, if I was Picard, I'd be like, really, dude, really, we're inviting you on our ship, and you're just gonna be this annoying putz. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's annoying, but he has a purpose. And that he is, you know, just, like, I don't know. He's a know-it-all, and then he kind of has to be brought down a few notches, in a way. But honestly, I kind of think this episode is kind of entertaining in that it's not, like, say, pew, pew, pew. It's more of a thinking episode, I guess. Like, or in a way, I suppose. And that, like, say, okay, we are at the end of the universe. What's out there? In a way, it could be your imagination, because your imagination might be so full of ideas that you think, like, so that's what is out there and all that. But I mean, overall, I find both that these two episodes are pretty entertaining. Yeah, I would probably come back to watch both of these episodes if I gotta remind myself to get the entire season of both this show and also Voyager. I mean, I could watch Deep Space Nine on Netflix, as long as CBS doesn't decide to say, "Hey, Netflix, give us our show back," like they did, like CBS did with the original Star Trek. Hopefully CBS doesn't decide to, you know, copyright some of these whatever clips I use for this. Thanks for watching. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Yeah, this is very comfy. This is very nice. Can see why the Federation wears them. it's time to talk about Star Trek Nemesis. Okay, this film, let's talk about it. This film was directed by Stuart Bard. It's the 10th film in the Star Trek franchise, as well as the 4th film and the final film of the cast of the Star Trek Next Generation crew. It was written by John Logan, from a story developed by Logan, Brent Spiner, and produced by Rick Berman. In the film, the United Federations of Planets form a clone of Captain Picard named Shinzon, and who has taken control of the Romulan Star Empire in a coup d'etat. And so, who was some of the cast members? Well, some of the returning cast members are most of the crew from the original show, from the Next Generation cast. The new cast members include Tom Hardy as Shinzon. He is the leader of the Remon people. And Ron Perlman as Remon Viceroy. And Dina Meyer as Romulan Commander Donatra. She's like the leader of the commander of the Romulans. What did I think about this film? In all honesty, the acting, I'm gonna be honest, the acting, especially from Patrick Stewart and the cast of the crew, saves the film. And honestly, one of the things that really kind of made me think, I'm not sure if I like this, was the whole dune buggy, or chase sequence.
Unsafe velocities.
I mean, it's cool, but honestly, I don't really think, when I think of that, I don't think Star Trek, I guess. But then you're probably going to be thinking, like, say, will they do that later in the Star Trek reboot, where it has more fast pace? I guess mostly because it seemed like the way it's done seems more generic action film, like in that way. Science fiction action film. Like, like, say, the way it's presented, it seems like, say, a war film or something like that. And supposedly, some of the cast members thought that the director wasn't really the best for this film, and that he didn't really know much about Star Trek. Marina Sirtis as Deanna Troi. Apparently she was ecstatic to be about this back in this film. Mostly because of the wedding sequence, like...
Now, I know on an occasion such as this, it is expected that I be gracious and fulsome in my praise on the wonders of this blessed union. But have the two of you considered what you were doing to me? Of course, you're happy, but what about my needs? This is all a damned inconvenience. I mean, while you are happily settling in on the Titan, I will be training my new first officer.
Like, say, oh yeah, her and Commander Riker, they get married at the beginning of the film. And that's a pretty nice sequence. Honestly, I guess the only thing I'm just saying, like, say, they're probably part of the Mater thing, like, the Mater thing. They probably pissed her off. Or maybe she, like, this would have been more of a dramatic bite for her character. Was the... mind rape sequence. Because that's what it is. That's what it seems like. I'm going to say that seems uncomfortable, and at the same time, it pissed me off. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I know. I'm sorry. There was, like, say, other times in science fiction films that try to do this. But I'm gonna be honest, this felt cold. Cold in that, like, okay, like, you have a film with, like, say, like, a clone of Picard and all that, where he's, like, like, had a traumatic childhood and raised among the darkness and was protected. And then suddenly you have a sequence where Troy is kind of mind raped by the bad guy and his viceroy. And I mean, at the same time, I'm gonna be honest that I guess, like, say, the sequence is, it gives, like, say, the character, like, they're able to figure out, okay, where are they at, because she has a mind connection to where they are. But at the same time, I'll be honest, I don't think that should have been necessary. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got off. I apologize. It just really upset me, man. It really upset me. Because it just that whole bit does not seem like it should be in Star Trek. In honesty, it's too mean in a way. I apologize. Probably haven't been this mad since, like, say, Flash Gordon 2. But to quote the great Roger Ebert from the classic review North, I hated this movie. Hated every stupid single moment of this gosh darn movie. Apologize. But, yeah, I mean, I'm be honest, like, say, Tom Hardy with, like, Patrick Stewart, when they are having their conversation and all that, about, like, say, Shinzon's past, and all that.
Look at me, Shinzon. Your heart, your hands, your eyes are the same as mine. The blood pumping within you. The raw material is the same. We have the same potential.
That's the past, Captain.
It can be the future. Buried deep within you, beneath all the years of pain and anger, there is something that has never been nurtured. The potential to make yourself a better man. And that is what it is, to be human. To make yourself more than you are. Oh, yes. I know you.
I think it's, like, like, say, it really works on the fact that these are two great actors. I mean, this is Tom Hardy when he was, like, a lot younger, so, but he does a great job working off Patrick Stewart. They work off well against each other. And I gotta say, the makeup for the Remans, it looks really cool. It looks like, say, Count Orlok from, like, say, the Nosferatu. I mean, yeah, it kind of does, and it looks pretty cool. I like how their ship almost looks like a bat.
Fire at will!
So, I guess there's that. I apologize about my bit of outburst there, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that whole stuff just kind of upset me. I apologize. Moving on. But other than that, I kind of think their Data has a brother, and which is known as B4. I guess it's, clever way of saying B4. But I honestly, having only seen a few episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, and these films, it's still, honestly, it's sad. I'm gonna be honest. It would probably be a bit sadder for me if I spent more time, watching the show and getting this, like, say, attachment to the character, like I probably have, like I've been doing towards Spock in the original series and all that. But I think it's still pretty good.
Goodbye.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I think Shinzon has a pretty cool death sequence.
Payload intermix level 80%.
And Data, he goes out as a bit of a hero. And I'll be honest, say when B4 starts singing as well, I think it was when he starts singing as well. I think it was pretty sad, honestly.
Never saw the sun shining so bright, shining so bright. Never saw things. Going so right. Going so right.
Because, well, that kind of, because that was a song that Data sings at Riker and Deanna Troy's wedding. I kind of thought that was kind of sad, honestly. Because Data has projected his memory into B4, so there's that. But in honestly, besides that whole mind thing, I apologize about that. That's definitely kind of upset me, honestly. Mostly because I thought that was, in a way, extremely mean-spirited. And honestly, I mean, this isn't like, say, like if it was like, say, like a horror film, then I'd say, oh yeah. Then I'd say, okay, we have developed a reason, like, say, why Picard is, as well as going after Shinzon and all that. I mean, we know, like, say, Shinzon is going to use a weapon to destroy the Federation, the Romulan Empire, and all that. One thing I wish it could... Oh, yeah, and Captain Janeway, she appears as well.
Someone called Shinzon has requested a Federation envoy.
New Praetor.
There's more. He's Riemann. Believe me, we don't understand it either. You're the closest ship, so I want you to go and hear what he has to say. Get the lay of the land. If the Empire becomes unstable, it could mean trouble for the entire quadrant.
Understood.
We're sending you all the intelligence we have, but it's not much. I don't need to tell you to watch your back, Jean-Luc.
Hardly.
The one thing I wish could have happened was I wish that Shinzon had, done something like, besides Data, I wish that like a major character from the show had been killed off. Like, say, Worf or someone, or perhaps even Riker. I mean, I know that would have been too much. The reason I think that would have been a strong reason of, like, say, Picard going after him and all that. That would be that, and honestly, but I could totally be wrong about that. And but I mean, then again, you have Riker giving a funeral eulogy at the end of the film for Data, and I think that seems pretty done with his honesty. But unfortunately, I don't think the Star Trek Nemesis, I don't think it is the best, like, ending for this crew. And I hate to say that, but unfortunately, this film was a financial flop. It basically, at this point, it killed the Star Trek film franchise. Didn't really come back until the Star Trek reboot from J.J. Abrams. And keep in mind, we'll be looking at those 3 films relatively soon, so that's reason, But what do you guys think of Star Trek Nemesis? Put your thoughts down below, let me know, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll most definitely see you next time. If you enjoyed today's video, if you'd like, comment, subscribe, and I'll most definitely see you next time. See you later.